Hi everyone, I'm Mark Mikulich, Technical Product Manager for Small Character Technologies here at Squid Ink. Today our video is going to be about adding a positive air kit to pressurize the printhead on our JetStream CIJ printer. Alright, you might be wondering why we would add a positive air kit to our printer or what scenario would call for that. Typically, any dusty, dirty environment or even a high humidity environment or an upshooting application. So if you're printing straight up on the bottom of a product and there's maybe some risk of debris falling onto or into the printhead, we would want to introduce a positive air kit. What that does is it just applies a light pressure to the inside of the printhead, so we have positive airflow out of the head. So if there's any dust or debris or anything of that nature in the environment, it will be pushed away from the printhead or out of the printhead. If we didn't have a positive air kit in this type of scenario, normally there is actually a slight vacuum inside the printhead. So if it was a dusty environment, we would actually draw some of that dust or particulate into the printhead and potentially into the system. All right, so first we'll just take a quick look at the air regulator itself. So you would want to order this from us so we can connect this to the positive air line in the system to pressurize the printhead. The Squid Ink part number for this air regulator is 2006645. Okay, and what you see right here is what it comes with. So we've got our filter, our regulator. We do have an 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch adapter here. It does not come with that. So the one thing you'll need, depending on the hardware you have in your facility, we'll need an 1/8 inch to 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, whatever it is, adapter here, so you can hook up your hardware and to connect shop air to this assembly. On this side, we do have an 1/8 inch adapter for the tubing. Okay, so that's already here, and you'll see how the tubing plugs into this. All right, so we're going to look in the back of the printer to see where that air line is. It's just going to be coiled up in the back of the machine, just an open-ended air line. So we'll look at where that's located and where we can fish that out of the printer to connect it to our regulator assembly. All right, so if we open up the back door of our JetStream printer, what we're looking for is, again, just a coiled up tube. You'll notice there's no color code or anything on this particular line. So this is just going to kind of be tucked in the system back here. Again, it's just an open end line. This is our air line. This goes all the way through the umbilical out to the printhead. And we'll also take a look at where that terminates in the printhead. This is what we're going to ultimately plug into that air pressure regulator assembly. So we're just going to uncoil this real quick. Okay, so you'll notice there's only a couple of feet of the tubing in here. If you do need more, the Squid Ink part number is 2006700. Okay, so you can get a lot more of this tubing if you need it, if you need to run this a further distance. The outer diameter of this tubing is 3.2 millimeters. It'll fit perfectly into an 1/8 inch adapter. So again, if you do need more of this, it is readily available. This can be fished out of the printer really a couple different ways. One, we do have a lot of customers that'll just modify their printer, so you could tap an 1/8 inch adapter into the side of the chassis, for example, or we can actually fish this right out the bottom of the machine. So you'll see in the back of the printer, we actually have a screw here that can actually be removed, and we have a straight shot out the back, or the bottom of the back of the machine. So we'll take that out really quick, we'll feed this out and show you how it plugs into the air pressure regulator assembly. Okay, so we're just going to feed this tube out the bottom of the printer. Okay, so the tube will fit right through the bottom of the chassis through this hole here. I'm just going to tip the printer forward a tiny bit to help us pull this out of the system. All right, so now we've got our air line coming out of the printer. We can plug this into our regulator assembly now. So this is really straightforward. Again, that 1/8 inch adapter is already there. Just plug it in. Simple as that. If you do need to remove the tubing, just compress the adapter and it slides right out. The regulator itself, you can mount this to the printer if you want. You can mount this to the printer cart. Wherever you need to put this is perfectly fine. So now really what we need to do at this point is just get shop air connected to the regulator, and we'll discuss how this needs to be set up. All right, we don't need a whole lot of pressure being delivered to the printhead. So once we get shop air connected to this, or our air supply connected to this, we're just going to dial the regulator in until we have about 4 to 5 psi. So again, it's not much. We don't want anything more than that. If we deliver way too much pressure to the printhead, it can actually impact the flight path of the droplets in the head. Okay, so it could ultimately kind of mess with our print quality. The droplets can get a little squirrely and kind of go all over the place. So 4 to 5 psi, that's all you need. Don't go any higher than that. And that will create a positive airflow out of the printhead, and again, keep any dust or debris from entering the head. All right, we've got our air supply connected. So all we need to do now is turn the knob on our regulator. And again, we're only looking for about 4 or 5 psi is fine. Again, you don't want much more than that. And one really important thing, when you're delivering shop air to something like this, we want to make sure it's clean air. Okay, so we don't want any moisture or anything like that. We want to try to avoid those scenarios. So, but that's about it. Really straightforward. And again, now we've got a positive airflow out of our printhead. So one last thing we'll do real quick is just take a peek at where that air line comes into the head to kind of give you an idea of how this all works. All right, just to give you guys an idea of where that airline goes, we're going to show you on the printhead where that's terminated. So you do not have to do this. We're just showing you where it's located. So we're going to remove this inner cover on the printhead. Usually there's 4 screws that hold this in place. Just to speed this up, we've taken those out. So again, you do not have to do this. Once you've got the regulator hooked up, this is already pre-plumbed in here. So again, just for reference. So here's the airline right here. So it simply just comes into the printhead. That's wide open. Okay, it's just sitting under this cover. So with the printhead sleeve on, we've got that little bit of pressure coming in here. Again, that results in a positive flow, airflow, out of our little exit slot or print slot on the printhead. So simple as that. So again, real straightforward process. Again, if you have a dirty, dusty environment or an upshooting application, I highly recommend adding this kit to the printer and just have positive air to the head. It'll help protect your machine and help it run much better. All right, so that wraps up our video on adding a positive air kit to our JetStream CIJ printer. If you want to see more videos on this or our other products, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also don't hesitate to head to squidink.com to get even more information on our product line. Thanks again.